There we go.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Pressure, two inside backers come down the sideline. Romeo Dobbs, a touchdown.
Hang on. Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing. Bill, the Packer fan and Packer owner, Nick. They run a website for Packer news and updates, and I know Packer news hasn't been so great lately because we got some players that are not Packers anymore that you loved at one time, but you might hate a little bit right now.
Two great running backs. We have a competent offensive line.
He's saying that he felt in November and December that they didn't want him back.
Get a little safety in that position. Either we go.
There's no reason to believe we can't return, but.
And they already came out, there's a couple guys that came out to that Rodgers is telling the
solution of it, and don't let them go for anything under than one.
And you know what, Packer fans? The Bears still suck. So go Pack Go, and good luck to you, Bill and Nick, their website and their Packer news. Talk to you later.
It's a lot easier to come in and keep doing mop-up duty, but he threw the ball all, he kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers the way he was throwing the ball sidearm and just flicking the ribs and the ball was just jumping out of his hands. Agreed.
Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick.
Oh, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Frozen Tundra Network. And we already got Darcy in the comments. Let me guess, Darcy, you want to talk about all that money you gave your quarterback, Jared Goff, that $53 million a year.
I'm sure he don't want to talk about it.
I was going to say, Darcy, what's going to go on with Hooker now? I thought he was going to be the next guy up. It looks like they're kind of blackballing him.
He's going to be out. They're going to end up having to trade him. There's no way he's going to stick. Unless he sticks around. Yeah, I bet you are, man. I mean, that's a lot of money, too. Do you think they overpaid? I think they overpaid. $53 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money to pay him. I mean, he did take you to the NFC Championship, but you guys choked in the second half.
Yeah.
Hey, Love. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this isn't going to look good for having to pay Love. We might be paying close to 60.
Hey, Ken, can you now stop talking about Spotrac because they're completely fucked? $38 million, you said, for Goff? Hey, what's up, John?
What's happening? What's going on?
What do you think about them paying $53 million to Goff, bro, a year?
Yeah, they like to spend money, don't they? Wait till 2-3 years when their cap's all fucked up.
Yeah, it's definitely
Can't deny it, though. He does deserve it, though.
I don't know about 53.
Not 53, but he deserves money, man. He deserves at least 45.
Mahomes is getting paid $50 million. Mahomes is getting paid $50 million a year.
But you think about it, it all depends how they restructured his contract. You know what I mean? The bonuses and all that. You know what goes against the salary cap.
Hated by a bear.
It depends on how they structure it.
Yeah.
But 53 is kind of pricey though.
I don't get how you can pay Goff more than Mahomes.
Man,
that's just nuts.
I just don't understand, man. Ken, now that you're here, Spotrac is way off.
No, they're gonna do. Now we stuck it to you, Packers fans, because now when Love's contract comes up,
it's not that Spotrac is off. It's not that Spotrac is off. It's that Brad Holmes way overpaid for Goff. I mean, dude, they overpaid by over $10 million. But then when you flip and think about it, the way this league is going with the quarterback money,
this is insane.
What are they going to do? If they let Goff walk, what do they do? Give it to Hendon Hooker? Really? I mean, so, it's funny because we were talking about this morning. I mean, I know you guys value Love more than you value Goff as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Love values Love more than he values Goff. So he's going to be asking for a lot more money. He's like, I'm younger. I've got a higher upside. I took us to the playoffs last year. Dude, and forget to bring a truck. It's not a bring truck anymore. It's a fleet.
Yeah, Dorn, see if you can turn your mic up because for some reason Yeah, it's not letting me adjust yours. Yeah, I can hear you a little more now.
Yeah, I'll turn up a little more yet.
My God,
it's just insane. I think we willed that in there this morning because we was talking about it.
Once they go to 18 games, I think the caps will go that much higher, and it's just And now these days you're going to have two good quality quarterbacks now.
Well,
18 games.
So Rob and I were just listening to Main Event Mike pontificate on this as a Lions fan. And Lions fans are kind of like torn, right? There are some fans in Detroit who are still kind of like on a, we'd rather have Hendon Hooker, but Goff but he's like, look, this Goff contract in 2 years won't even be top 5, won't even be top 10. I mean, after Tua gets paid, after Love gets paid, he falls out of the top 5 probably.
But they guarantee they're going to lock him up for at least 3 years. I mean, they guaranteed $170 million, bro. Yeah. That's 3 years for sure.
And do you really think that Tua's going to get paid more than Goff?
Yes,
I think he is.
Yes. I would say Goff's a better quarterback than Tua.
But one thing about Goff,
to me, I think they're pretty equal.
He's a dying breed of quarterback.
I think they just got better wide receivers in Miami.
There's a dying breed, tell you the truth. Yeah. Everybody's going mobile.
I mean, Tua will probably get more or similar money as.
Sure you're not, man. I wouldn't be happy.
I thought they got Hooker for a reason. I thought he was going to be that. You know what I mean?
They talked up that he was a steal, and even Darcy said, I seen him talking there. He goes, "What about the 3rd round pick that they gave up?"
Yeah, I mean, actually, I liked him in college. Hooker, I thought he was pretty damn decent in college.
But I mean, put yourself in Detroit's position right now. If you don't pay Goff when he walks, you are handing the ball to Hooker. This should tell you that Brad Holmes maybe doesn't have the confidence in Hooker that some of the fans do. But I mean, it's like with the Packers. If you don't give Jordan Love a fleet of Brinks trucks, what are you going to do? Really, what are you going to do? I mean,
we got Clifford.
Shut up, Doug.
I don't want to hear about the big red dog anymore, darn damn it.
Wait, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on a second. No, I'm sorry. Clifford's just been signed. What? No.
The Raiders.
The LA Galaxy. He's now switching to become a soccer player.
Take away.
Oh, God. Here we go with the soccer. Fuck.
Take away the 4th down try.
LA Galaxy.
So Darcy's saying Goff's numbers are skewed by the 4th down tries that Campbell goes for all the time.
And look, that's a legitimate argument, right? That's a legitimate argument. But his red zone numbers are good.
I've said it from day one that he goes for it way too much and he goes for it at the wrong time. So,
and one thing about it, their offensive line's not getting no younger. Their offensive line's actually pretty old. I mean, right across the board, it's pretty old.
They're still a contending team, bro. It's not even that. It's just they just put a lot. I mean, you literally said, okay, fucking Goff's our quarterback. I mean, they pretty much declared that.
And think
John's
about
right.
this.
Go ahead, A-Dub.
What's going on, guys? And I was about to say, I just shared something to where you would think about they just spent nearly over $400 million on certain contracts for 3 guys.
Yeah. Sewell, St. Brown, and Goff. Yeah. And John's not wrong because last year, Lions fans, our offensive line is the best ever. Dude, their offensive line took a step back last year. They're still really good, but they already took a step back. And that goes to John's point that their line is not a bunch of spring chickens. I mean, but they spent, we remember in the morning show, we said they'd spend $260 over 4 years on Goff and 3rd down St. Brown. And they ended up spending almost $350.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. I want to know how the hell they're supposed to keep this great team together when they just gave these guys a huge lion's share of that money.
Well, because let's say this year,
Brown, Goff.
This year was it 30? No, I'm sorry. That was it 30 million. It went up this year. It was 30 million.
I'm saying Panay Sewell. I'm saying Panay Sewell, Jared Goff, and St. Brown. They combined for them having spent $444 million worth of contracts for those 3.
Goff is a little overpaid by the percentages because Main Event Mike did have a point. Most the percentage of what you spend, and Goff is a little overpaid, but that will adjust by next year if that's when the contract takes effect. Because let's say if the salary cap goes up 19 mil next year or 20 mil or 30 mil like it did this year, I think the problem is this. We were used to like Drew Brees getting 20 million a year and going, okay, that's a lot of money for a top tier quarterback. Now your Danny Dimes is making 45. You've got 53 for Goff. You're going to have 60 for Dak. If Caleb Williams is what the Bears hope he is, just forget 60. We're gonna be signing him to a 10-year.
Fucking 60. I'm gonna.
This has to stop, bro. This fucking has to stop. The commissioner has to step in and put a cap on this, and we got a cap for everything else,
well,
bro.
One thing about it is all depends how they do the structure of their contract. I mean, how much signing bonus they get, how much working bonus they get. It's all you restructure everything.
It's the guaranteed money.
And then they got to pay that. Was it 160-some thousand? Guaranteed.
Well, let's be real. On the Goff deal, basically it's a 3-year deal because basically, at about 2.5 years into the deal, the guaranteed is paid, right? Mm-hmm. So it's basically a third deal. So if they cut ties after year 3, they're not paying that money. So it's basically a 3-year deal worth probably 180 or whatever it is because of the guaranteed piece. But what do you think Caleb Williams is going to get? And I know we talked about this morning, but Foles is from that KC mindset that gave Mahomes a 10-year deal. I think that's the track you're going to have to take. You might want to take that track with Love.
That I was going to say that's what I'm hoping we do with Love is lock him up to a 10-year deal. I don't care if we give him north of the $500 million.
No, okay. No, the Lions, okay, they got that hooker. Okay. Now, you think maybe they're saying, okay, let's showcase them this preseason and see if we can get our draft pick back or a little bit more
for Hooker?
For Hooker, yeah.
No, dude, you got to look at. They've got a cheap backup quarterback in Hendon Hooker. They've got for 3 more years on a rookie deal. Yeah, they can keep him this year, keep him next year, and then you know what they do after that? They do a what the New England Patriots did for so many years. What you guys have done for years past, they trade him off for a 2nd round or 3rd round pick. Some guy who thinks he's going to be the starting quarterback for their team. Who was the guy that had a couple really great games for the Packers and then signed a massive contract with Seattle and sucked?
Matt Flynn,
yeah.
Glenn. You Glenn him. That's what you do. You Glenn him. Or you Jimmy G him. Jimmy G, it might be more of the exception to the rule, right? But that's what you do with Hooker. You keep him for 2 years. You groom him. You coach him. You train him. You put some good tape in the preseason, and you dump him off to a sorry sack team. Like, I don't know who's going to be sorry sack in 2 years. Maybe it's Arizona, for a 2nd round pick, and they pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're okay with Hooker. That's not a bad deal. Look at the Bears are going to do the same thing with Tyson Bagent. He's cheap. You're going to keep him until he's not cheap anymore. Then we're going to try to get something for him in a trade or let him walk. He's cheap. You can get these guys every year in the draft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why Green Bay just drafted ourselves a new quarterback.
I hope the salary cap goes up like $40 million next year. Fuck, bro.
Well, Rob, and we don't want to take away from the morning show too much, but with some of the revenue streams the NFL is trying to do that we've talked about on the morning show, it could.
Yeah. And don't forget, they're trying to land this deal with Netflix for the Christmas.
Yeah, if they get Netflix.
So that's just going to be some major money.
That'll put money in there too. So.
And if more teams do what Kansas City do, John, cover your ears for a minute, earmuffs. If more teams do what the Kansas City Chiefs have did, Kansas City Chiefs 10 years ago signed a deal with Bayern Munich. They have a partnership in the Bundesliga. Watch as American football teams start doing that because KC makes some money off of that, right? I would not be surprised to see more partnerships between the NFL and Bundesliga or Premier or all these other professional sporting divisions in other countries. And it could be cricket. It could be Aussie rules. I mean, but these are all revenue streams that are going to increase the amount of money that we're going to get and teams that can spend. But with the quarterback situation, dude, I agree with you. There's got to be a cap. I think they're going to do what they did with running backs and just refuse to pay them and say, no, I'm just going to, and someone's going to be up and it's going to happen. What?
Who's going to be the first one to do it? Because so far, even the Lions aren't even. It might be right off the bat, bro.
It might be Trevor Lawrence is a good candidate for that. Like, nope, we're just going to.
I don't know. You got an argument to say because they tanked last year, bro. They fucking tanked.
I mean, you got an argument with Trevor Lawrence. You could say, nope, we're just going to franchise tag you and pay the franchise tag would probably be $30 million, and That's how they reset the running back market. They said, no, fuck it. Brandon Jacobs, I'm not paying you. No, I'm not paying you guys $25 million. I'm going to cap you at your franchise tag and you pay you 10.
but
And what are these guys playing for now? 11 and 12.
I think this argument is slightly apple to oranges with the running back versus quarterback. Running backs, you can get fucking some guy off the fucking street. But with quarterbacks, for a real franchise quarterback, as you know, being a Chicago Bear fan, it's extremely hard to come across the guy.
They're still waiting for one. They got one they think.
Ken, they did it with tight ends too last year. It was tight ends and running backs. They kind of reset the market.
I was going to say, but both of those positions are nowhere near as valued as the quarterback.
But you're going to find a situation where you're going to have a franchise quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, a franchise quarterback, or maybe even Tua, that you might be able to say, you know what, we're just going to tag you at $30 million, and that could reset the market for. So like Goff would not have gotten this money if they had reset the market like that. I mean, your Mahomes of the world, your guys for winning championships and divisions, championships, lots of playoff games like Lamar, they're going to still get their paid, those top tier guys. But dude, Jared Goff, Jordan Love aren't going to make the 55, 60. They'd be more apt to make somewhere in between. Jordan Love's not there yet. I know. I get what you're saying, Ken. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how you reset the market. The big guys are going to get their money.
Yeah, but then we'll take Trevor Lawrence for instance. If you franchise tag him, you run yourself into a Kirk Cousins situation where, hey, you franchise tag you franchise tagged me a couple of times, and now that I'm going to be a free agent, I refuse to sign with you guys, and I'm going out and making bank somewhere else.
But that's true. But by that time, if you're worth it, someone's willing to pay it, I'm just going to draft your replacement the year before.
It worked out for Kurt. He sure helped it.
Yeah, but it didn't work out for the Redskins.
See, if I was Jordan Love, what I would do is say, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you guys a discount for my first time around because I want to win that. I want to win a Super Bowl. But once I win that Super Bowl, then I'm going to then I want my money.
Listening to that.
John, would you do that if you're Jordan Love? Honestly, John, think about it. After you saw what they did to Aaron Jones, do you really think he's going to do that?
I'd actually do the inverse of that. I'd want my money now, and then when I sign the second contract, fuck it. Well, give me $40 million to where I'm still making insane fucking money. But there's still
his physical shape now. He should have peak money if he's playing at prime peak money now. This is where you pay him because they're going to ask him to take a pay cut eventually. You're going to get older. You're going to age out, and that's when you lose money.
The main thing is money up front. That's what these players want is money.
Yeah, no, he needs a good signing bonus. They need to give him a fat ass signing bonus.
When we looked it up this morning, the Packers next year have $57 million in cap as of today. John, and then A-Dub, because we haven't heard you guys, because the other guys we talked about this morning. John and A-Dub specifically, how much of that $57 million do you think you have to give Jordan Love by the end of training camp?
I would say go ahead, A-Dub. We'll let you go first.
My perspective right now, the majority percentages would go to Love right now. If I'm able to win games with him and still have a great season from him, if he can still get me to the playoffs, then yeah.
But I mean, are you talking 53, 55, or all 57?
I'd go for the 53 at the very least.
So the same money Goff's making.
Yeah. As long as, and every part of me says as long as you're winning games for me and getting me into the playoffs, you're well worth the 53. Personally, I like to take on the wait and see approach before I consider what I pay you. But if you're looking for something now, I give you the 53.
What about you, John? How much do you think he's going to get? You have 57 available next year. How big of a chunk of that is going to Love?
I'd say the way they structured everything, probably 30. Time they restructured, do some bonuses here and there and all that, when it's all said and done. Probably about 30 of it.
So $20 million less than Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not.
I mean, he'll still make this amount. It's just the way how they restructure it.
Because golf's not going to come to $53 million a year. I mean,
Yeah.
That's how it works out overall. Looking at
right.
He's going to get a signing
numbers
bonus.
different.
Yeah, the signing bonus is going to
yeah.
change it. Yeah, it's going to change what it averages out because the signing bonus doesn't count against the cap.
But I think he'll get his 53. I think he'll get 53 though.
Oh yeah, no, he's guaranteed 170 million of it, bro. He's guaranteed 170 million. You can break it down however you want. He's getting 170 million dollars.
It's actually just over 3 years, the 170 then, right? That'd be 150.
Yeah, that's just over. That's why I say
so
he'll probably get like
They'll
probably get like a 30 million signing bonus, and then they'll break the 140 down, and that's how it'll come out.
For Goff, it's like 11 million.
Hello there, Yoli.
Hey, Yoli.
Hey, Yoli. Yoli's like, what the hell is Ken doing here? This is
yeah, we got fucking invaded by a fucking bear. You see this shit?
But actually, now I think about it, with the Goff numbers at 170, that means 11 million of year 4 is in that contracted against the cap. But then if they're going to cut bait at year 4, it's an $11 million hit. That's nothing. That's nothing. I think Love is going to get. I think you guys value Love as much as they value Goff. I know I would if I were you.
Yeah.
I think Love says I'm better than Goff. I think that Goody probably agrees. Before this Goff contract, I think he was going to try to get 48 mil a year. I think now he's going to ask for 55, and I might be more inclined to agree with A-Dub and John that he gets 53.
Well, before all this Goff shit happened, I had read an article that they wouldn't be surprised if Love's deal is just like Aaron Rodgers when he had signed his after his first year start in there, that he was end up getting paid to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. And they're saying don't be surprised if Love is too.
So what we see, the highest paid is Burrow right now. What's he, 54 or 55?
55.
There you go.
You're talking Love's going to get 55 to 57, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
the highest paid.
That's what the article says. I'm not saying that's what I'm looking at. But
dude, look, I'm not loud. I mean,
but you know what? I'll pull a Lions fan. But in the long run, it's a cheap deal.
I mean,
the sad thing is in the long run, it probably would end up being a cheap deal.
I'm gonna say this as not just a Bears fan, but as a football fan. I'm saying this more as a football fan than a Bears fan. I hope to God, for your sake, that Jordan Love was not like Mitch Trubisky, really great for 1 year, and then you want to run him out of town if you're going to pay him that much money. My freaking Lord, what a mistake that could be. I mean, that's the hard part, right? I love what you guys did with Love, how you brought him along, but now the negative part of that process is this right here. You have 1 year of sample to look at him as a starter to now make a massive financial decision.
Mm-hmm. And the worst part is you got to give him the fucking deal now.
See what about Love and Trubisky? Trubisky got carried by a defense. Love did not get carried by a defense.
Trubisky offensively, in 2018 to 2019 was two totally different quarterbacks. And I'm not saying that Jordan Love's going to do that, but what I'm saying is, John, is for your sake, you want to hope that the Jordan Love you saw last year is the exact same thing. Because if, like with the Bears, from my experience, like 2018, Trubisky showed out, and you guys were like, "Holy shit, Trubisky's showing out!" And then the next year is like, "What the hell happened to Trubisky, man? I thought you said you had a quarterback." And we're like, "Yeah, we thought we did have a quarterback." So I mean, that's the downside.
Yeah, hold on, let A-Dub get in.
Yeah, go ahead, A-Dub.
Yeah, and I was gonna say part of Trubisky's downfall, I felt, might have been a part of the system he was under with Matt Nagy.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think you're gonna have
Matt Nagy was the coach of the year.
He was coach of the year in 18 too. That's the thing. And Nagy's went from being coach of the year to being
absolutely dogged by the league.
Yeah, and then he went to complete horseshit. But it's I don't think that's going to happen per se with Jordan Love. But the only downside of the way you guys just look at the whole evolution of Jordan Love, I agreed with when they drafted him, and the plan was to make him sit maybe 2 to 3 years max, not sit for basically 4 years. They didn't. Their original plan, I guarantee you, if you ask Goody what the original plan is.
Was probably 2.
2 to 3, max 3. And the problem is because the whole drama with Aaron took so long. Now you're in a predicament like, okay, I've got 1 year of work to really judge this guy, and I got to either pay him 55 to 60 now or run the risk of losing him at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, if I pay him $60 million and he Mitch Trubisky's it, then we're gonna have a very bad day, Yoli.
Yeah. Well, hey, we had ourselves a good day. Hopefully, you did too, Yoli.
My day sucked ass. When I start my bike up, fucking one turnover. What the fuck?
Battery.
No spark. Nope, no spark. No spark.
Oh,
so get the old meter out, fucking test, do the tester, fucking run through everything. Boil down to, came across as a crank sensor.
Well, that's what happens when you have an old Harley that you don't ride at all.
I ride it all the time, dude. I put a lot of miles on that fucker.
Hey, what's up there?
What's up, Sherry? Yeah, we're talking about it. Paying love. We're gonna have to. Definitely gonna have to.
I guess what the other thing is this: the second, third orders to effect, because you guys always talk about how young you are, and that's a great thing. Now, look, obviously the Bakhtiari dead money comes off next year, but you're going to get that eaten up a lot by the Love money. How it is having to pay Love now with your other contractual obligations that you still have going to affect your youth movement as far as their contract? Because, I mean, Alexander might become a casualty if he doesn't shape up this year.
Oh, we ended. I don't see Alexander going anywhere next year unless he plays god awful and is an asshole. But from what we've seen this offseason, I don't see him going anywhere.
He's been working.
But
if there's one player on defense that has yet to be decided of an extension right now, it's just Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, isn't Jair Alexander like your highest contract outside of? Well, I think he's your highest contract right now. Period, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he has another decent year with some of the issues that happened last year, dude, you could be gone next year. After next year, not this upcoming season.
I was going to say I could see a restructure more than anything, especially if he has a down year.
You know what, Ken? Though I hear what you're saying, brother, and I say the same thing. Said the same thing about a couple Bears players this year. But dude, how many of these guys are restructuring these days before versus GM saying, you know what, I'm not going to bother restructure, just get rid of them.
See, that's the thing.
Get rid of them option happens more now.
With Kenny Clark, I think they might just say, okay, let's let him play out his year and then see how it goes. See how he fits in this new system. Let's see how he does. Because Wyatt might just come in and just take over his spot, you know, and Slayton.
Yeah,
I mean,
apparently the coaching staff really loves Wyatt.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow that happens to happen. But I don't want to see Kenny Clark going anywhere. The dude's only 27 years old. Come on. I know we don't like to give out third contracts a lot, but he's one of the guys that you'd think would deserve it.
Michael, I would say that
he's been an anchor on that defensive line too.
Kraft really stepped up last year when Musgrave went down. He really, I mean, that was the best thing for him. I mean, he showed out a showcase. We have a great tandem.
Yeah, I absolutely love Kraft's mentality. Yeah. When he came out there and said that he wants to take their soul away blocking, I absolutely loved it. All right, go ahead, A-Dub.
And you could also say Tucker Kraft broke that third round curse for us Packers too.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as Michael asked the question, what NFL team has that much cap space? Actually, well, I mean, the Lions just hamstring themselves a bit today. The Bears actually are really good for next year. The Packers are good for next year. The Vikings, dude, I don't care what, for the Vikings, does it really matter? Quezzy always seems to. Quezzy is a magician. That dude makes it work for that team. Every year we all go, freaking Quezzy. The freaking Vikings have no money. And then they end up with the possible defensive rookie of the year now. They end up with another good edge rusher. They end up getting, come on. With them, cap space doesn't, I don't know what he does over there. But I mean, most of the teams are pretty decent. But I mean, but Michael, the problem is this now with the North. The North was actually really good overall. 3 of the 4 teams were healthy, you could say, with the amount of cap space. I think the Bears have the most amount left this year between the 3, not named the Vikings. and that's at roughly about 10 million. Now, for next year, I didn't look at the Bears and the Lions yet. So we're talking about Love this morning. It's the only reason I know the Packers number. But I think the Bears are somewhere around that 60, 70 mark again. We're good until we got to start signing these quarterbacks, these wide receivers, these edge rushers, the very costly one. But you know what was amazing when we looked at in the morning show last week? The average price of these good offensive linemen, they're the number, what was it, number 4 for franchise tag value? It went like quarterback, receiver, edge, O-line, then linebacker. And we're like, whoa, hold on a second. So the problem is this carousel of how you structure your contract. And like the Packers, the Bears, and the Lions really all have the same fatal flaw because we're all building at the same time. All our players are due the next 3 to 4 years. All of them.
Yeah, but if you think about it, the Lions, though, I mean, look how many they signed. They signed three players. They signed 3 players this year over 30 years old. 3 of them, 4 of them. It's like.
Well, no, Sewell. No, I thought you meant for the years. 4 of them, but all of them, all the 3 big guys that they put all that money to are 4 years together. That's good for them. So hopefully they can have to deal with Hutchinson's contract. Let's say in between that. Like for the Bears, we hopefully, let's say we got 2 years or more of DJ Moore, right? But then the next year we got to pay our linebackers, our cornerback, and then the year after that we got 5th-year options on a Dunze and maybe Williams or extensions. So and the Packers are kind of in a similar boat with a couple guys, but still we have a lot. All 3 teams have a lot of key players that are going to be due paydays at roughly the same time. But the Lions just showed us you could do it.
And Chad, I generally agree with you, but don't be surprised if the Bears end up leapfrogging the Lions and it's us and the Bears that are fighting for this division. The Lions.
Can I record that?
Hey, I've said it multiple times on the morning show. You ain't got to report.
You got to out there and play the games first, boy. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight for 3 teams for sure.
Are we going to say just ask Ken? Everybody's a 10-win team in this division. Go ahead.
I agree with that statement. Yeah, he said I think 3 NFC North teams can make the playoffs. I can agree with that.
Actually, you know what's funny, A-Dub? And I've commented on the morning show that blew me away. Because the national, like Fox, ESPN, those guys give the North no love ever, right? They never give any teams from the North love. Fox has all 3 have the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers. All taking the
you can say suck, Sherry. You don't have to put that for it. You can just say suck.
I was going to say, as Packer fans, we can say they suck, but they have built one hell of a team. I unfortunately got to give them that.
Sherry, look, I give you full permission as a Bears fan to say that because I'm going to just turn around and turn to my friend Peyton Manning.
Packers suck.
So
all right, tear down and take it.
The Bears swallow. So that's all that matters.
Hey, don't forget about the same old Lions.
Fool's
gold Lions.
I thought it was fool's gold. Yeah, but I mean, dude, the Lions, they got something to shout about. They won the division. Give them credit. They just got
And
they think they fixed
not to mention they can still beat their chest about only being 1 game away from getting to the Super Bowl too.
Yeah. And look, they think
it took them 3 fucking years.
That's what we like to see.
Sherry. I'm not. Sherry, I'm not.
Now you're in Facebook jail.
Well, Ken's a guest on the Packer show, so he's cool with you telling him he sucks. If it was our morning show or his Bear show, he'd have a different issue. But he's a good guy. He's a good sport.
Yeah, I don't see any way that the Lions are winning 13 games this year.
No.
As far as their ceiling goes,
go ahead, A-Dub.
Yeah, I'm thinking as far as their ceiling goes, it could be that number. Like I'm saying, as far as wins go, looking at the ceiling of it, it could be that number for all 3.
Actually, what they do is what they actually do, they fix their fucking corners that they tried to fix them last year, and they fucked it up last year, and they had to redo it this year. What else do they do with their fucking team, really?
I mean, is Chad taking into consideration their coach that gambles a lot, bro? I mean,
it cost them like 3 games last year. How many games this year? 5.
Michelle, I agree with you that Caleb will probably go through some rookie struggles, but we've talked about in the morning show. I mean, if you're a rookie quarterback, dude, you look at Chicago going, thank God I got drafted here, not Carolina last year. He's walking to a rookie quarterback stream. But look, I think A-Dub's got a point, though, too, because look, in the division, let's just say for sake of argument, not saying this is going to happen, if we all go 3-3 in the division, right, that's 6 of your 17 games. So you're telling me out of the 11 games left, that they can't win 9 of them? They could.
They could.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, 11, 12 games is believable. But you're saying for the Lions to have to win 13, they really have to sweep the division. For them to win 13 games, they can lose 3 division games and one non-division opponent and win out the rest. So it's possible, but it's possible for at least 3 of the teams in the division to do that. And actually, you could even say if everything works in a perfect world right for Minnesota, you might throw Minnesota in there too.
I don't even think they get 10 wins. They don't even get 10 wins this year.
And the first place teams that Detroit got a matchup against, I recall, should be the Bills, Tampa Bay.
It's a 2-game difference, A-Dub. The difference in schedule between the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings is 2 teams. That's it.
We all play these.
Yeah, I know we all play the AFC. I know we're matching up against the NFC West and the AFC South.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a 2-game difference. And Tyler, hey, you know what? I think that's true of all the teams not named the Lions right now. We all have to prove that we got better. We all have to prove that we took the next step. Right now, what do we have to look at between now and week 3? Let's be realistic. Between now and week 3, we have on paper what we hope because of what we might have seen in camp. And by week 3, we'll actually start to know what these teams are. But that's all we've got to go on right now is paper. On paper, I got to believe that in the NFC North, you've got 3 teams that should win 10 games, or it's a failure for them this year. You got a 4th team.
And now that are you finished, Ken?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
Okay. Now that we're at the halfway point, we're going to run a quick commercial, and we will be right back.
Same old Lions.
Don't forget, we are now going to be on Roku and Fire Stick TV with the Huddle Sports Network. We've got multiple shows across a bunch of fan bases. We even got shows outside of this division, and we've got shows that aren't about football too. Come here for all your sports needs.
And if you want your own podcast, we got spots for that. Let's do it.
And by the way, I just got it. Just remember it now. And to clear something up, Ken, it's actually a 3-game difference between us going into this year with 17 games. And the 3 first place teams the Lions got are the Bills, the Buccaneers, and the Cowboys.
Yep, because we play an AFC team now because of the extra game.
The Cowboys, they can't beat the Cowboys. They can't beat the Cowboys.
Right. The extra game. That's correct. So wait, go to the last Chad one. This is the comment that actually kind of contradicts himself. Lions and Packers 4-2. Then we both split with the Bears. So it doesn't really contradict himself in a way, but that's the one. That's the end part's what I want to talk about. Look, if there's going to be any sweeping in this division of teams, Minnesota is probably the team most apt.
Everybody's going to sweep them.
Well, I mean,
the Bears.
Because with Minnesota, their defense is going to be good, but that offense is the question mark at quarterback position. with the Bears, the Packers, and the Lions, both have done a lot. Like the Packers and the Lions have done stuff with their defense. The Bears basically have a new offense. I mean, so it's going to be. I could see those three teams splitting with each other. So yeah, they're 4 and they're. That's your 2 losses. If you're going to sweep anyone, Minnesota's your best bet, is what I'm saying for a sweep. And I think he might be right there because they're the most questionable of the division. But dude, if you look at Minnesota, though, right? I mean, to be your questionable team in the division compared to other divisions, dude, our division's pretty good. Minnesota could win the South.
Well, when it comes to Minnesota, for me, their biggest question mark is QB. That's what ailed them last season, and it could be the same thing that ails them this year.
Oh, but Chad, my friend.
And Sherry, we do cover that sports, and we do cover soccer. I'm starting the soccer thing up, come up pretty soon.
Yeah, John's gonna. Hey, there's a new soccer show being hosted by John Dorn.
I might be hosting it. Yeah.
But Chad, they replaced the pressure and sack. They got the guy right now who's predicted by most to be the defensive rookie of the year, and that's their edge rusher.
Dallas Turner.
I mean, he's not gonna replace what Hunter in his first year, but by year 2, sure.
But
I mean, he's on the rise, bro. That's Rob, definitely not a negative.
The guy they signed though to replace Daniil originally had 8 or 9 sacks last year. That defense is still monstrous.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I'll be more scared of Vikings defensive line than I would be with Lions. That's easy.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Yeah, because
Hutchinson could not get past Zach Tom. Zach Tom walled him right off.
Yeah. Plus, Chad, I got a question for you, man. Last year, you guys talked up your secondary. You guys thought you shorted up. Then you cut everybody, and you had to replace the whole damn secondary. They're unproven as far as as far as I'm concerned. They haven't shown me that they.
I got kicked off their show and muted from their show from telling them that the Sutton, Mosley, and all those guys were garbage and they were not going to make it, and everything else. They told me I was full of shit, and guess what? I was right.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, they just want to hear it.
Well, when it comes to their secondary, they'll tell you we still got Brian Branch, who was proven last season.
Well, didn't Reed carry him into the fucking end zone for a touchdown?
Yeah.
That's because he's slow. All their corners are slow.
And that Tyrion Arnold, he might be a real good corner, but he's another slow guy. Go ahead, Ken.
I'm sorry. In this division, guys, dude, if you're a cornerback or a safety, you're just fucked.
Yeah.
In this division, dude, I saw an article today, and don't yell at me, guys. I saw an article today. They were talking about who won the offseason by division, blah, blah, blah. And when it came to the Bears, they said the Bears may have the best wide receiving core in the NFL. Okay, if we're the best, then who's the second best? Minnesota, maybe, with their guys. Green Bay with your tour of 5 guys that run on the field. Division. If you're a secondary in this division and you sucked last year, dude, you're going to get a lot of work this year.
Yeah.
And Chad, I'm glad. At least you're a sensible Lions fan. I'm going to give you that because me and Ken both just watched Russell Wayne talk about how they got locked down corners.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Apparently, they're gonna revive Darrelle Revis's old decrepit corpse and throw him out on the field.
Yeah, but this draft actually set them back a year. Tell you the truth. They didn't fix last year.
And now they got lockdown corners, bro. You just said it. I almost fell out of my chair.
Rob,
bro.
You missed the best quote though. That this contract, they have to get 2 Super Bowls out of this golf contract, or Holmes needs to be fired.
When he's healthy,
he fucking said that.
They said that they expect 2. Well, they said the comments. We have to win the Super Bowl now, and then some companies said no, we have to win 2 Super Bowls because we're paying golf so much money. And then they said,
I expect Ken to come randomly up to New York, show up on my doorstep with a briefcase full of $1 million.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's going to fucking happen.
So I made the comment. I said, well, then I guess every rookie quarterback or every quarterback on a second or third contract making this big money should be guaranteed a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson. I mean, if Lamar Jackson doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, next year, fire that GM out there in Baltimore.
Lamar
If the Bears
Jackson
don't
is
win
like
one,
Kirk Cousins.
Now, DJ Reader, I will agree, helped improve your line, but he's another older player that who knows when the hell he's going to end up losing step.
He's good fill-in. He's a solid fill-in. That's all I can say.
No, bro,
solid
no
fill-in.
one's saying you guys just didn't. What happened was you guys didn't get better. You guys stayed the same while the rest of the division, and you guys might even step back, losing. Who was it that retired? Who was it that retired from that? God dang it! He was on the defense. Fuck. I mean, you guys lost a lot of guys. I can't think of who it was because you lost old boy to the law. And then I mean, you guys didn't replace that talent yet.
I mean, I don't know if you're 2 years from a chance of Super Bowl. I think there are three teams who are kind of like.
I think last year was your best chance, bro. You guys really
Dan
had a
Campbell
shot.
might have been right.
Dan
Campbell may have been right.
Man, bro.
Because,
I jumped on the Lion train for the fucking playoffs, man. When we were out, I jumped on with you guys and watched Dan Campbell gamble it away, bro. When you guys blew your second half,
if you really look at Lions' fucking roster, it's actually put together a duct tape, man. It really is.
I mean, look, I said this morning. I said it to Russell and main event Mike. I said, guys, I'm sorry, because when the Packers were winning all these divisions, our division was absolute garbage overall. Yeah, every so often the Bears would have a good season. Every so often the Vikings would have a good season. But let's face it, this was a division, 10 wins, won the Packers to win the division on 10 wins every year. Unfortunately for you now, when you've gotten good, 10 wins might end you in the basement.
You know what's hard?
And that's the reality
on top, is staying on top. That's what's hard is be able to stay on top.
And that's why, and honestly, and to be honest, that's why the Packers in the NFC North never got love, because the Packers were a good team. In the North, they were the team. Winning the division every year, but compared to the creme de la creme of the NFL, they weren't. They were just a good team. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying facts,
John
man.
wears that with a badge of honor.
Saying facts, man. Saying facts.
Now, we didn't end up trading Aaron Jones. We didn't trade Aaron Jones. We cut him because he did not want to take another pay cut again for the second year in a row after he had given us a team-friendly deal to start with.
But you know what? The more I thought about that, the more I think about it. He only played 6 freaking games, bro.
There you go. That's the exact reason.
Six games,
bro.
Rob, the games,
bro. 5 were great. You? One of them, he just was there, but 5 were great. I'm not saying they weren't, bro. But
Cousins is now an Atlanta Falcon.
Most of the year, bro. You got to show up at least 10 games, Rob, 11 games. You got to give it to me, bro.
But Rob, week 1, he won week 1 by himself.
Yeah, I know he did, bro.
He put Jordan Love on the track and on the map. Without him, Jordan Love maybe isn't that good.
Bro,
last year.
After week 1, he was out. Jordan Love did it on his own, bro. After week 1, he was out. Jones was out for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Jordan Love having a good running game. That's why he struggled in the beginning.
Well, no, because
you're right.
In that game,
it showed that he needed that.
It wasn't the running game that Aaron Jones took. It was the passing game where Aaron Jones excelled in week 1. And I think that gave Love the confidence, some of the confidence moving forward. And when Jones was out, he was getting better. But when he got Jones back, he was exponentially better. I mean, so Jones was probably worth the money you paid in terms of what he did for Jordan Love's development as a starter last year and what he gave you for 5 of those 6 games as far as changing games.
And there was still chemistry built during that season with the young receivers.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, there was the upside. That was the upside of it all. Is Love gelling with his players? Everybody coming together. I mean, bro, it was a great season, and I love Aaron Jones, and I hated to see him go. But this is a business, and he wasn't filling his end by showing. I mean, he's injury prone. The last 2 seasons, he spent more time off field than on field. And
I mean,
and then there's also the story that most people say most running backs will regress by the time they reach 30.
Exactly.
They say 3 years, 3-4 years span. That's all I got.
I mean, look, from that situation, I can't blame Jones for not wanting to take a pay cut. At the same time, I can't blame the Packers for letting him go. I mean, it's kind of like you can't be the party, right? I mean,
and I can't stress. If I could stress that enough to all players, get your money up front. That's why everybody's like, that's why I'm like, you're going to pay Jordan Love because he's worth it. It's his best money. Let's do it.
If you can get Jacobs to play like he did in 2022, we ain't going to look back and
yeah, we're not even going to care. We're not even going to care what happened with Jones. We're going to be like, Jones,
like 2022.
You know what?
I love Jones, man. I'm going to miss the sombrero.
Yeah, I don't think you need him to repeat his 2022 numbers to have him pay off for you, Jacobs. You just need him to be good. If he's good, then you make your money.
Yeah. I mean, personally, for me, I think the big difference for Jacobs is going to be what kind of defenses he'll be looking at as opposed to when he was with the Raiders, because
Lions fucking running backs, how did they look in the playoffs, especially against 49ers? Didn't they fumble? And how many yards did fucking Gibbs get?
Yeah, no, the Lion back room is definitely not underrated. At least around the division, most people will not gladly, but they will say that the Lions have the best running back room right now in the division. I don't know what else you're looking for. Do you want us to say that they're the greatest running backs ever?
No.
I mean, they're rated number 1 overall in the NFL.
I don't think they're underrated.
To me, I think they're overrated. To me, because you can stick anybody behind that line.
You're not going to sell that shit to us.
You can put anybody behind that line and fucking make them look good. Anybody.
We're not going to buy that shit now.
And my thing is,
it's already been proven that.
And my thing is, last season, Jameer Gibbs needed to have that year that he did to prove that he wasn't that much of a reach where he was.
He's good. I like Gibbs. I like.
Look who's here! One of our favorite Bear fans.
I mean, look at hats off to Holmes last year for taking Gibbs. I was watching the draft live with some Lions fans, the same ones that Rob and I just talked about, and they were like, "Okay, a lot of Lions fans are mad, but that was a phenomenal pick." And Gibbs had his fumble in the playoffs. Okay, fine, but over the whole year, Gibbs was phenomenal. That running room in Detroit.
Ken, you might want to cover your ears for this one, but until the Bears end up beating the Packers sometime in the past fucking 5 fucking years, we are not scared of a single fucking Bears player on that team.
So what quarterback is big in another 3 years?
Hey, Jermaine, I got some. Wait, I got some for Jermaine.
Go Bears!
I got you, brother.
All right, we were glad to have you on. Go Pack, go!
Go Pack, go!
Yeah. And to finish up what I was saying about Josh Jacobs, I said before the defenses he faces with Green Bay will be far different from with the Raiders, only because of the QB he's playing with. Like when it came to the Raiders, you didn't have a QB that made anyone fear the idea of stacking a box against you because you were the best option on that offense.
Yeah,
he did play against the Bears. He did play against the North last year, and the North shut him down. Across the board, all of us did. I mean, the Bears had the number 1 rush defense in the league. Minnesota's wasn't great. Green Bay's wasn't great, but they were serviceable. And then the Vikings hit was really good. So, I mean,
but
he's
Jacobs
going
had
to
a down year, though. He had a down year because of coaching changes.
Yeah, he was hurt, and he was hurt much of that year, too.
Honestly, where our teams need to make their money this year is out of the division. Honestly, I'm looking at this division as home team hold serve in every game. That our teams will probably all split, except maybe the Vikings. That we need to make our money in outer division games because our teams in the division are all really freaking good. There's no sweeps in this division. We're making our money out of division, and that's because
Chad wants in.
Yeah, and Chad, we're very close to the end of this show. But if you go find my page, Packer Backer News, and shoot me a message when we go on Friday, I'll send you the link and you can hop on with us.
Yeah, he's a good shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's
every day, man. We on at 10 a.m.
We're all gonna have to make our money out of the division big time this year. This division's tough, man. On paper, we're tough. It's a badass division.
All right, what do we say about on paper? What is that? Unproven.
But that's all we've got. But Rob, between now and then, that's all
I know.
We've got.
Hey, you're at that level, man. You're at
Remember the dream team? How'd that work out? The dream team.
This is the excitement. You got to see it on the field.
Well, wait. The dream team worked out really good in Barcelona.
Hey, I'm going to tell Ken. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Me and Ken were talking about before the show, and because John's been around, you've been around. It's not the best part of this division being so close is when you do win the division, it's a hell of a lot better than when you beat a bunch of scrubs, bro.
Yeah.
It feels better. It's a much more earned win when you take the division from a bunch of guys that are playing hard. So
I can agree with you, except for the Davenport part. I don't even think he's a question mark. I just don't think the guy's that good of a player, honestly.
And Davenport, and we've seen what Davenport was like with the Vikings already.
Yeah.
Well, and what's going to be interesting though, we got guys that are coming to new rosters, fresh starts. We got guys that we hope don't have sophomore slumps. They may, and they will. Most of them will. It might not be noticeable, but they'll be there. We saw with like Kyler Gordon had a sophomore slump. You didn't really necessarily see it, but it was there. Or not Kyler Gordon. Well, I mean, the Bears secondary, there was some slumpage. You didn't actually, oh my God, notice it. But if you looked at the end of the year in the numbers, yeah, it was there. We're going to see Sam Laporta is not going to be what Sam Laporta was last year. I highly doubt he's going to put up the numbers like he put up in Detroit last year again this year. I highly doubt that
it's going to be tougher. They're going to play him harder for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's Tate.
Yeah, you could say production wise, some players could fall off.
Yeah.
And I expect the same thing against the Packer tight ends. I mean, bro.
Yeah. It's going to be this division though. For the first time in over a decade, Rob, we can probably say, well, I guess Ken's old enough to remember a decade now. But no, I mean,
A-Dub's old enough to have seen older Packers. Man. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time probably, fellas, in at least a decade that we can say, wow, this division is the black and blue division, and it's going to be a dogfight.
It feels like it's going to be.
It
feels like it's going to be.
Like ESPN, you lousy, crappy motherfuckers. Hey, you need to cover the NFC North now. Stop just covering the shitty New York Giants.
Well, you got everybody I noticed last year, bro. And then
ESPN's going down. Our streaming network is taking over. We're going to be the official sports network for everybody.
That's right, bro.
So, Ken, who do you want to face week one?
What now?
Who do you want to face week one? Bears versus.
I want it to be a non-division game. I want to keep all the games done. If you guys have to go play the Eagles, I want to play like Carolina week one.
Wait, who's the East team? Who's the East team you guys be playing? Like, who's another
probably
East team?
The Commanders.
Well, I think opening weekend would be
that would be good. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Number picks 1 and 2 in week one.
Lions versus the 49ers, and then Bears versus the Vikings.
No, Lions versus the Cowboys week one. Keep it all.
Yeah, that'd be two.
Yeah. Keep it in the division.
Great storylines.
Bro, the way they've been doing it with the early division games at the early part of the season, everybody matching up. We all see, then we play the rest of the league, and then we play it out at the end, playing against each other.
But Rob, that's not true. They only do that for us. It's the Bears and Packers. Think about it, for the Lions and the Vikings last year for the Bears. We played the Vikings. We played them both twice within 3 weeks. Like we played Lions, Vikings, Lions. Then a game, then Vikings again or something like that. I mean, it was backloaded for our division. The only team we played early in the division was Green Bay last year. That was it.
So okay, the first week the Packers play, and then what they have the Chiefs and who was that? 49ers?
Sorry, Chad.
Wasn't that already? Who was playing the Chiefs?
I don't know who the Chiefs will play. I don't know if it'll necessarily be the 49ers, but it'll definitely be the Chiefs.
It just came out. It was on the thing. The Chiefs were playing
it the 49ers? Somebody. I didn't see it.
But the first thing I played was Peacock. So is
Chad saying he hopes the Packers play Cowboys. It's already been determined we're playing Philly in Rio. Sorry, man. Can't have that one.
They're in Brazil racking up those paternity tests. And I think the Bears should keep it, North versus East in week one. Like, let them have that big Cowboys Lions rematch. Maybe these guys will report in this time. Let the Bears have last year's number one pick versus this year's number one pick. That's a great storyline for the NFL. Because look, we all know the NFL is about storyline.
Hey, so and on that terrible Ken take about storylines, we want to thank all you guys for watching. We especially want to thank you for commenting. You guys help drive the show. Make sure you guys have yourself a wonderful night. And go, Pack, go.
Stop it.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Pressure, two inside backers come down the sideline. Romeo Dobbs, a touchdown.
Hang on. Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher. Bill, the Packer fan, and Packer owner, Nick. They run a website